I'm just gonna freestyle this particular piece of material, but you have two things. You have a jester, and then you have a judge. And I think a lot of people probably fall into these two archetypes. And a lot of people either want to be a jester or they want to be a judge in life. And I'll try to keep it high level. But a jester is really someone who just wants to entertain, to make people laugh, to put light into situations. And they're basically looked at sometimes as clowns. And they're not taken maybe as seriously as they could be. But then when you get to know them, they are a human being, of course. They're human after all. So they're interesting to talk to when you actually do talk to them. I mean, when you think about it, wouldn't it be interesting to talk to a jester? And if that's their career, it would be interesting. So I place a lot of, like comedians or people who are unconventional in their career choices. They'll sort of fall into this jester category. And you look at them and they're the ones that always try to make people laugh, and they're just not very serious in group situations. And they can be fun to be around. They could also be behind closed doors. They could also be very tough to be around as well, because it can be very exhausting. But yeah, I mean, a lot of comedians, actors can fall in there. And there's good things and bad things about the jester. Then you have the judge. So describe each one, and then maybe I'll try to connect how people go back and forth between them. But then you have the judge, serious individual, passes down certain views and very rigid, very intellectual. People listen. So they're on the stage, so similar to the jester, but in a different way. They're serious individuals, and there's really no room for laughter. And this kind of individual embodies discipline, embodies focus, just the steps leading up to becoming a judge. And you look at them, and they're also interesting to talk to as well. They have interesting views as well. And the thing is, they know who they are. They're super intelligent individuals, and they bring a certain seriousness to most situations. And you might get a few laughs here and there behind closed doors. So kind of the opposite. Behind closed doors with a jester, maybe you get some serious talk. Well, behind closed doors with a judge, you probably get some humorous talk. But in the public eye, the judges are not looking for the laughs. They're looking for order. They're looking for a certain consistency. So a lot of people fall into that kind of seriousness category, that category of logic. I think you really have these two personas, these two archetypes, and people are daily trying to figure out which one they fit into. Do they fit into the jester, or do they fit into the judge category? And a lot of people try to satisfy both. And it tears them, it tears their identities, it pulls them from one to the other, right? Because when you're in it as like a judge, you kind of look at the jester and you say, I wish my life was like that. But then you could perhaps be the jester and you look at the judge and you say, I wish my life were like that. And they both sort of admire each other for each other's respective decisions, and yet the decision making is quite unique. And I find it interesting that you could really boil down most people to one or the other. It's like you either choose kind of a serious life, or you've chosen the life of the clown, the life of the jester kind of situation. And you can kind of look at somebody at any stage of life and say, you're like in this jester stage. Or like you need to really become a judge. You need to become a judge of the world. You need to become a judge of life and really get things sorted out. Or like you're that person. You are the judge. There's no room. You can't be the jester. You're just not that person. As much as you want to be, that's just not you. And I don't know. It's just something that came to mind. Is how I sort of see people and how they kind of conduct themselves. No, there's no real science behind this. Well, I'm sure there's something along the lines of like a personality trait and whatnot, but the reality is it's like a yin and yang kind of thing, and we sort of, when we're struggling with identity, we're trying to figure out which one we kind of fit into and which one works for us the most. I guess you could ask yourself some questions like, when you are in public, are you trying to make people laugh, or are you serious? You conduct yourself in a serious manner. Is maybe something you can ask yourself to figure out. Okay, because what you aspire to be is kind of different to what you are, I would say. And then you kind of have to look at your strengths. Like, oh, maybe you're the judge, because you're serious in that kind of nature. Maybe you just want to be both, so you try both out. And deep down, though, there is really only one you could possibly be. And then the other, you have traits of the other, maybe behind closed doors. I'm not really sure where I'm going with all of this. I suppose it's just an observational piece that I put together here. But I'd be interested to know, when you sit and you reflect on who you are, how you kind of fit in. Like, do you enjoy making people laugh, or do you conduct yourself in a very disciplined, structured, rigid kind of manner? Are you more of a judge? Or, do you like bringing humor, or do you like bringing light to situations? Do you like entertainment? Do you like giving out entertainment as a jester? I'd be interested to know maybe how you kind of fit in. Okay, till next time.